Baby, when we talk about legendary voices in music, two names that always come up are Diana Ross and Whitney Houston. These two women were not just singers, they were icons. They had voices that could shake the room, performances that left people speechless, and a presence that no one could ignore. Diana Ross helped shape the Motown era, and Whitney Houston took over the world with her powerful voice and emotional songs. Both of them didn't just make music, they made history. Now here's the interesting part. Whitney Houston looked up to Diana Ross. She respected her so much, even called her an icon and a role model. And guess what? Diana seemed to love Whitney too. There was even a moment during one of Diana's shows when she ran off stage just to hug Whitney in the crowd. Isn't that sweet? And it wasn't just a one-time thing. These two showed each other love in public many times. But when Whitney Houston died in 2012, fans around the world were heartbroken. Celebrities, friends, and family came out to show love and say goodbye. But guess who didn't show up? Diana Ross. People were shocked, like seriously shocked. This was someone Whitney admired, and she didn't even come to the funeral. No tribute, no goodbye, nothing. So, of course, people started asking questions. Was it just personal grief, or was it something deeper? Some fans started wondering if Diana stayed away because she knew something. There have always been whispers that Whitney's death wasn't just an accident. So when someone as big as Diana Ross didn't show up, people couldn't help but think, was she silently protesting? Or maybe she didn't want to be part of the scene for a reason. And listen, not everyone believed their friendship was 100% perfect. Yes, Whitney always praised Diana, but others in the music world have said things weren't always so friendly behind the scenes. Some believe Diana may have felt a little threatened by Whitney's rise to fame. Remember, Whitney came in strong with crossover hits, international awards, and became the new diva in town. Could there have been a little competition between them? And let's not forget that shady moment in an interview when Whitney was asked about Diana while there were rumors they were beefing. Whitney gave a firm no, never, when asked if she felt she was like Diana. That alone made people raise their eyebrows. Even though Diana Ross didn't show up to Whitney's funeral, she did release a short statement. In it, she said she was heartbroken and asked for privacy. But here's where it gets weird. Diana reportedly asked Whitney's family not to mention her name at all during the funeral, not even once. And let's be honest, that doesn't sound like something a close friend or respected mentor would do. Fans were confused, and the questions just kept coming. Why would Diana want her name kept out of the service so badly? Was she hiding something? Or was she trying to make a statement without saying anything? People felt like this wasn't just about grief. This felt like a silent protest, or maybe even a quiet warning. And then there's the mystery around Whitney Houston's death. The official report said she drowned in a bathtub, but some of the details just don't add up. First, the coroner said she had mild heart disease, but not enough to prove she had a heart attack. And yes, there were small amounts of drugs found in her system, like weed, Xanax, and a little of something else, but not enough to take her out like that. So how did she end up dead in the tub? Things get even creepier when you realize that there wasn't even enough water in her lungs to prove she drowned. That means there's a real chance that Whitney didn't pass out in the bathtub. Someone could have put her there after she was already gone. It's scary to even think about, but this is what fans and even some of her family members have been saying. And it wasn't just the water and the drugs that made people suspicious. Whitney had bruises on her arms, her legs, and her shoulders, like real bruises. And let's be real, bruises like that don't come from just slipping in the tub. That's not normal. Some people believe that she was beat up before she died, and then placed in the tub. Now here's where it gets wild. The last person seen with Whitney was Ray J, and word on the street is that he let the dealer into her room that night. And remember, Whitney was trying to stay sober. So what was really going on? And what did Leola Brown, Bobby Brown's sister, say? She said she saw Whitney's body, and it was clear to her that Whitney had been beaten, that she didn't just die peacefully in the water. And we're not even done. Right before Whitney passed away, she showed up at an event where Brandy, Monica, and Clive Davis were doing an interview. Whitney walked in, soaking wet but fully dressed, and gave Brandy a secret note right in front of the cameras. What was in that note? To this day, Brandy refuses to say. She said it was personal and that she wants to keep it to herself. But people are not buying that. They believe Whitney gave that note in front of everyone on purpose. Some fans think Whitney knew something was going to happen. That's why she gave the note to Brandy and kept distracting everyone else so Brandy could have time to read it. And then Whitney said something strange too. She said, "I nearly drowned today." Like what? Who says that during a quick hello at an interview? That line alone gave people chills. And when you see Brandy's face in that moment, you can tell something wasn't right. Her smile fades and she looks shocked, like she wasn't expecting that at all. It was like a warning, a cry for help, or maybe even a goodbye. Now let's keep going, because the story doesn't stop here. Things only get more disturbing when you look at what happened after Whitney was found in that hotel room. Let's talk about the night of that party. Whitney had already been pronounced dead upstairs, yet right below her room, the hotel party kept going. Imagine this. Investigators walking around trying to figure out what happened to one of the greatest voices of our time, while downstairs, people in gowns and tuxedos are still walking the red carpet, drinking champagne and posing for cameras. It didn't feel like morning. It felt like a movie scene, a horror movie. People were dancing, laughing and smiling, while Whitney Houston's lifeless body remained upstairs for hours. This made fans extremely uncomfortable. Like, how is that okay? Why didn't the party stop? Why wasn't the whole place cleared out of respect? It made people feel like the whole thing was just too well timed, like someone wanted her death to look like just another sad accident during a big weekend. Even more people started asking questions when they noticed how quiet some celebrities stayed after Whitney's death. A lot of folks didn't speak out. Some gave quick statements and moved on like nothing happened. But others, like Bobby Brown, have kept talking for years. He said several times that his daughter, Bobby Christina, didn't die the way people think. That what happened to her wasn't a copycat accident. It was something much more intentional. And guess who Bobby has pointed fingers at? Nick Gordon, the same man who was closely connected to both Whitney and Bobby Christina before their deaths. Bobby says Nick knows what really happened. And even though Nick is gone now too, Bobby still believes the truth hasn't come out. Now, when people look back at Diana Ross not showing up to the funeral and asking for her name to be kept out of it, they wonder, did she know more than she was saying? Maybe she didn't want to be part of something that didn't feel right. Maybe she saw the way things were being handled and wanted no connection to it. Or maybe it was something even deeper. Was there unfinished business between her and Whitney? Did she find out things about Whitney's final days that scared her into silence? Was there something she was protecting herself from? Because the thing is, Diana Ross didn't just miss the funeral, she reportedly made it clear that her name should be left out of the whole situation. No mentions, no shout-outs, nothing. And that's not just unusual, it feels like a message. But what was she trying to say? Or better yet, what was she trying to avoid? All of this brings up a bigger question. If Diana really was Whitney's mentor and someone she admired so much, why would she go so far as to erase herself from Whitney's final goodbye? What was really going on behind the scenes? Was it just sadness and boundaries, or a warning about something darker? We may never get the full truth. But then again, some secrets always come to light, eventually. Subscribe, share, like, and also stay glued for more juicy gist.